Good luck to
I
you.
respect you, man.
Good luck to you, man. But you know I beat you, right?
Okay.
There you go. I beat you, man. Good luck to you,
did.
buddy.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. And one for me, right?
Another one.
No.
For the
I
books.
want you to tell me that I beat you.
You did.
All right.
Another one for the books.
There you go. Thanks,
All right.
sir. I took my mask off. You know who I am? You don't remember me?
No, I don't.
Look here, man. You don't remember me. So I took my mask off.
Okay.
You don't remember me.
I don't.
I've been deep in this investigation. That's why I had my mask on. You should know who I am.
Sean Jeffrey Bridgemohan initially encountered hookah lounges while residing in New York. Upon moving to Florida, he became a regular visitor at the Royal Hookah Lounge, which Muhammad Amar Al-Jamos owns. As their acquaintance deepened, Bridgemohan had to clarify Al-Jamos's mistaken belief that he was a police officer, as he actually worked in security. Despite the difference, Al-Jamos seemed to associate the two roles, and proposed an unofficial position for Bridgemohan to assist with challenging clients. Over the course of 8 months, Bridgemohan uncovered unsettling details about Al-Jamos. With a few friends, he devised a prank to assert dominance. However, the situation escalated when Al-Jamos offered them money as a payoff. The group retained the funds for several days before eventually returning them. Unfortunately, the prank took a serious turn as the police became involved, doubting the authenticity of the prank and questioning Bridgemohan's claim of not impersonating an officer.
Mr. Shaw.
What's up, bud?
What's up? I went to the wrong room. I thought he was in the other room. My bad.
Stuff happens, man.
Real quick, bro. Can I get off this mask?
Yeah.
Because it's hot. Appreciate it. I appreciate you being cool about letting us get in the apartment, give us consent to go in, get the rifles and stuff like that. I appreciate that.
And we're going to give you a receipt for your rifle and your vest and your belt so you can have all that stuff.
You'll get all that stuff. Like I said, we're working a separate case.
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to know why you're here.
Yeah.
And obviously it involves you, your name's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember at the house you were saying some stuff about you kind of knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And the guy, whatever, and I'm going to let you tell me whatever it is. Before I do all that stuff, I'm going to read your rights real quick, just so everything's good to go. I know you, law enforcement, and I know you kind of know what's going on.
Yeah.
All right? So I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So you have the right to remain silent, bro. Anything you say can and will be used you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before or during questioning. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. And we want to make sure that no one has either threatened you or promised you anything, like, hey, you're gonna come here and talk to me, I'm gonna work stuff out for you. You understand all that, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, that being said, remember when you're like, hey, I kind of know what this is, there's a guy, there was a prank, there was whatever.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? Like what's going on?
So, this guy's name is Amar. He runs the hookah lounge. I've been going there working. I was actually working security for him.
Okay.
All right. And it was kind of an exchange thing. So I'd help him out on the weeks that I had off from U.S. Corrections.
Yeah.
I'd go in there and I'd help him out with security because people would go in there and take them. They're all foreigners that work there. Mm-hmm. So some people would go in there and just take them as a joke and they wouldn't pay. They'd just leave. So he came to me about that.
How did you guys meet?
Originally, I went there because there was a girl that I'm friends with, Jen. She was working there.
Okay.
She was like, "Oh, come to this hookah lounge," because she heard that I go to the hookah lounge.
Mm-hmm.
What's Jen's full name?
Samala. Last name Samala.
I'm assuming it's Jennifer.
Jennifer, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is going almost a year ago. So I started going there, and then one night Jen asked me to stop by after work. So when I showed up, I had my uniform on from work. So
kind of like what? What'd you have on?
Just my uniform, tack pants.
You had your gear and stuff on?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I had my patrol car with me, too, because I took the patrol car home with the company I work for. It says security on it. You can't mistake it.
Okay.
So when I walked in through the back, Amar's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were a cop." That's where it started. I know how this mess began.
Okay.
So I'm like, no, I'm not a cop. I work with U.S. Corrections.
Bridgemohan calmly explains the situation, narrating his prepared story with confidence. Having rehearsed his account in advance, he believes he can effortlessly present everything in the prank.
He's like, yeah, you're a cop. You're a cop. And I'm like, no, dude. That's a security car outside. I do both. And
You told him you were not a...
Correct. I told him, I said, it's very different. You know what I mean? Depending on, me and him were friends, so we talked. I said, depending on what state I'm in, we're looked at as law enforcement in different states.
Right.
I go, but that's from law enforcement only. They give us that, like, oh, hey, what's up, brother?
Yeah.
I was like, but as you can see, I'm security, dude. That's basically what it is.
Okay.
U.S. Corrections is basically security. All right? You need a security license to do it, too.
That's cool.
Let me ask you a couple things, just to clarify.
Yeah.
You were going home from work.
Correct.
And Jennifer called you to stop over at the hookah real quick for whatever.
Yeah.
You pulled in and your marked security card, got out in your uniform, and walked inside. Were you armed?
Yeah.
You had a firearm?
Yeah, because I was coming home from work, and I was scheduled to work the next day.
While Bree Mohan is not employed in law enforcement, his occupation is closely aligned, giving him a thorough comprehension of the legal system and its workings.
Okay.
Yeah.
In order for you to work with these companies, do you have to have some sort of security license?
Yes.
Or what kind of security license?
GD, and some companies require concealed weapons permit, which I have, but I don't need that for these two companies.
Okay.
Metro State requires you to wear. We do like funeral escorts and stuff like that. We're not required to wear a firearm at Metro State, but we have to have all the gear. So.
Okay. All right. So you were saying that the sergeant keeps hanging out at the hookah or whatever. So
yeah, she's really good friends with the same guy, which he goes by Amar. But yeah, she's really close with him. It's almost weird. The gist of what I've gotten is that they met in the hookah lounge, and they started talking. She advised him she was law enforcement. So again, he was all like, giddy and happy about that. Oh, let's be friends. Oh, you don't have to worry about paying. And then he sold her something, mattress or some kind of furniture maybe. This is what I got from what happened, how they met. And he put it on a website, Craigslist or OfferUp for like $1,200, and he gave it to her for $500, and so it made her happy, and she was like, oh, okay, this is a cool guy. This guy, I've learned over time that he's a bad guy, and the last time that I met with him.
Whether or not Bree Mohan's narrative is authentic, its primary function is to provide a basis for the lounge owner to level unfounded accusations against him.
When it first happened.
Yeah.
What did he say when you told him that?
He was like, please, brother, don't do that. I always take care of you. This the typical, Arab or Syrian way of talking. I always look out for you. He grabbed his hair on his mustache. He's like, I kill myself for you, blah, blah, But when he asked me to do that, I was like, that's when I knew for a fact that this dude was a scumbag, that people that were talking to me and telling me these things were right. And that's what I told him. I said, overnight, you'll be lucky if I don't report this. I go, this is insane that dude, that's a woman. You want me to jam up a woman, bro? Like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, oh, I've been telling you all the things she's done to me. Meanwhile, I'm hearing from Jen, who's actually friends with the woman, the same girl that worked with him, that the woman's not a bad woman, that Amar was caught cheating in the building. Amar did this to her, Amar beats her and stuff like that. So I'm like, now I'm finding all this out. I'm like, Jen, why did you even let me be friends with this guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the whole thing with him is he would tell people I was a cop because he wanted to get that juice. You know what I mean? He'd be like if the workers were messing up, he'd be like, oh, I'll just talk to Sean or Susan. They're cops. And then when the workers would ask me if I was a cop, I'd have to tell them, like, no, man, listen, look, Amar's got it twisted, bro. I work for U.S. Corrections, right?
Have you ever introduced yourself as a law enforcement officer to anybody?
No.
I've never said I'm a cop?
No. Usually if somebody were to ask me something, I'd be like, yeah, I work for U.S. Corrections and I work for... And then if they ask if U.S. Corrections is law enforcement, I'd say it's like law enforcement, but it's a security position. We transport criminals. We go after people, that are getting transferred from a jail.
Okay. So let's talk about the, well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
The incident that you mentioned, that you said that you thought you knew what this was all about at your apartment, what were you referring to?
Mar.
But what happened with him?
Well, he told Susan a whole bunch of stories about me, and one of the workers told me what was going on.
What worker told you that?
Danny.
Is that a male or a female?
He's a male. He said, oh, man, and he's also foreign. So when you talk to him, you have to break stuff up, too, and he's a kid.
Okay.
He's 16, and illegally working there. But he called me, because all of his workers, even though he told them not to talk to me or hang out with me or whatever, they still respect me because I was always cool with them. I'd still tip them even though I'm not paying, you know what I mean? Yeah. So Danny called me, and Danny told me, he said, hey, Susan is here, and Amar's talking about you, telling her all kinds of stuff about you. And I said, what kind of stuff is he saying? And Danny told me, he said, look, man, I don't want to get in trouble. I said, Danny, you're not going to get in trouble, bro. What's going on? Mm-hmm. And so Danny told me basically that he was telling her that I came in there and, like, strong-armed him or gave him a hard time about something. And I'm like, Danny, when have you ever seen me give that? I always look out for the guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always looking out for him. And he said, no.
Did he ever pay you with anything besides free hookah or whatever?
Every once in a while, he'd like, oh, here's $300. Or here's $500. Sometimes he'd buy me, like, shoes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Well, I don't know if he bought them. I don't know how he got them. But he'd come in with some shoes. One time he tried to give me a phone, iPhone 7. He said it was brand new, but it was cracked and beat up. I'm like, bro, come on, man. I don't need that. You know what I mean? So he would pay me here and there, but it would be out of the blue. And on a day I wasn't working or something like that, you know what I mean? He would just hand me off cash.
How often were you working there? Like a couple times a week, once a month?
For a while, it was just a couple times a week. And then if I was, 2 weeks gone, I'd come back and work for, 3 or 4 days throughout the weeks.
And then what did you do while you were there? Like what was your
basically
actual job?
I was supposed to just be doing security, but he like fired the DJ. So every once in a while, I'd run the DJ booth. It's just like a YouTube turnaround.
But security, like bouncer, like out front, mm-hmm. or like
more like sit there and smoke hookah until I'm needed. If he has a problem,
if he's got a problem, you take care of his problem.
Yeah.
Muscle.
Yeah, like a bouncer.
Did you have?
The detectives find themselves repeatedly seeking clarification on the weapons in Brejmohan's possession, as some of them were originally issued for specific roles that he no longer occupies.
So you never had a firearm and a badge on you when you worked?
Not in a work capacity.
When you worked at the hookah?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gone in there a couple times after working mm-hmm. at a site, obviously.
Did you work on the night of the 12th of January of this year? I think it was a Friday.
For Amar?
Were you at the hookah?
Yeah, I was there, but not working.
Who were you with?
I was with a group of friends.
Specifically, like names?
Yeah, Steve.
Hold on a second. Do you pen?
I have.
I have a pen.
I also had one, sir.
Hey, can I get one of those guys to give me a pen?
I don't know what pen I might have left the pen in the pad.
Left the Soro.
So he was cool. He was kind of cool with you, I guess. Like everything was cool.
Yeah, everything was cool, man.
And then he had some problems with his wife.
Yeah, he seemed like a cool guy, and like I said, he played the part right.
And he comped you,
crying,
straight up, like smoke hook, everything's cool.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. I only paid for hookah that one night that I first went there. That was the only time I paid for hookah.
Good. How much is that? How much is that?
Like $25 for a second.
And how long does that last? Like if I pay, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the bars and stuff. I know it's cool to hang out or whatever, but if I pay $25, mm-hmm. how long does that last me? Like an hour, or am I good for like the night?
Yeah, it's like 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how you smoke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're a strong smoker and you're really like just going at it,
it's probably be like half hour.
Half hour, yeah.
And how long do the people hang out in general? People hang out there?
A couple hours, 2-3 hours sometimes.
And they just hang out?
Yeah, well, they drink and stuff there. They drink beer. The guy has a beer and wine license, so he can serve beer and wine, but, if you pay him, he'll
give you stronger stuff?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, like, all this stuff that I started seeing and everything, that's when I started realizing this guy's not
Hey, what's up with this dude?
Yeah.
I mean, I never been to I don't smoke hookah.
Yeah.
I don't really smoke anything, but
Yeah. It's like
I can see I can kick back here, relax, and have a drink and chill.
Yeah, you could go with a couple friends and stuff.
And hang out.
Yeah, just relax. Plus, like, the whole idea, like, people don't realize. Sorry.
Yeah, you good?
People think that it's the hookah that relaxes you, but it's actually the breathing.
Because like, how do you? Okay, you're going in and out, in and out.
Breath out.
I get it.
So people mistake that. Oh yeah, I smoke hookah because it calms me down. No,
but it's really because you're like.
Yeah, it's the breathing.
All right. I get that. What else was I gonna ask you, bro? So you, on the 12th, did you work security like somewhere else?
No,
and then you came over there, or like. Or did you just come in and...
Oh, actually, yeah, I did work earlier that day on the 12th. I worked with Metro State.
What did you do with that?
We did a funeral escort. We did 3 funeral escorts, yeah. We have...
what do you guys do with that? Like, how you do it? Like
we have patrol cars that say Metro State on them. They're black and white. Kind of the owner of the company likes California LAPD-style vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got black and whites that say Metro State, and they got lights and sirens. The lights are purple. And
so you did, like, traffic?
Traffic, yeah, going
so, like,
traffic.
you hold the intersection, and go through, and then you keep going?
Yeah.
Do you have one of those cars? Or you just...
I don't personally have one of those cars.
No, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
But that's what we use.
So you sign you on the car?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we go in, sign them out, and then we go do the escorts.
So you didn't go with that car to the hookah bar?
No, the owner wouldn't let anybody take those vehicles because they resemble...
So you go in your own car?
Yeah. I always use my own vehicle, or when I was using the take-home car with the security company.
Yeah.
You know, I had a white Crown Vic that clearly stated security. Amar leaned on it and sat on it multiple times. You know what I mean? He knows the deal. He's just...
Does he have a lot of cop friends?
He does.
He does?
He does. And he does that because, like I said, he comes off to you as this guy that's in poverty. He's hurting.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But he's the owner of the business.
He's the owner of the business. And he'll say that his wife is stealing money from him, and he'll give you all these sob stories to make you think, oh man, we feel for this guy. You know?
Did you ever meet his wife?
Recently, yeah.
Certain aspects, like arrest records, will be straightforward to verify. However, it's important to note that such verification doesn't excuse any potential wrongdoing on Bree Mohan's part.
Is she ever at the business? Did she ever go to the business?
She was in the beginning, and then she stopped altogether. And then anytime you'd ask him about what was going on with his wife, he would be like, oh, I don't want to talk about it.
Really?
And then eventually he started crying.
Telling you, hey, this is my problem?
Yeah. I come home, she beats on the dog. Like, he painted the picture of her like she was the worst woman in the planet. You know?
We just talking about hookah stuff, really.
Okay. You were saying that the night of the 12th, you were there with some friends.
Yeah. Steve, I don't know his last name, and the other guy's name is Constantine.
What was Steve wearing?
I think, like tan shorts and like some kind of dressy shirt or polo shirt or something.
Was he wearing a hat?
I believe so.
Constantine, what was he wearing?
Constantine was wearing...
What's his last name, do you know?
I don't know his last name either.
How do you know him?
I've worked details with them, other sites.
Both of these guys?
Yeah.
Do you have their phone numbers?
Yeah, I should have their numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I have to ask you permission for this? Can I search your phone to look for these phone numbers?
No, I don't want nobody going through my phone.
Okay.
But
so Constantine,
no
what was he wearing?
Constantine was wearing a suit. Like button-down.
Like a button-down suit?
Yeah.
That's pretty different type of clothing. One's wearing shorts and the other one a suit?
Mm-hmm.
Was Constantine coming back from a job or something? Or
I think he worked at one of the bars.
Okay. So what happened that night?
All right, so basically, that night, we came in there and we played a prank on Amar. All right? The prank was a very easy, simple prank. All right?
Walk us through that.
So we're all hanging out, and Constantine comes in.
We're all hanging out who?
me, Steve, and Amar are sitting down.
Okay.
And we're hanging out. And Constantine comes in, and we have a girl that Constantine knows.
What's her name?
I don't know her name.
Okay, so
that's
she's
why
the friend
Constantine knows, yeah.
Constantine.
So she comes in, she sits down, she orders some drinks and a hookah.
Yeah.
And Amar goes over, and we just knew it would happen this way. Amar goes over, starts touching her hair, flirting with her, you know. She asks for something a little harder.
Mm-hmm.
He goes and finds something harder, and he brings it out to her. All right. So Constantine, now the reason we were doing this prank was, one, we do pranks a lot. You know what I mean? We just do, it's just a work thing. We all do pranks. The idea was he wasn't listening to me. He wasn't listening to Susan, and he wasn't listening to anybody else about this whole liquor thing and the flirting with girls. We're trying to help the guy, literally help the guy.
So Susan was aware of this prank?
No. Susan wasn't aware of the prank.
Okay.
I'm just saying Susan's aware of some of the things he's doing.
Oh, the shenanigans.
Yeah. Okay. Because I've literally sat there next to her and heard her tell him, like, Amar, you need to stop. Because you're gonna risk your business, you're gonna get in trouble, you know. Stop serving alcohol. She knew of it all. And like I said, they're really close. So anyway, again, the prank. We send Constantine over, and he's like, "Hey, sir, can I ask you a question?" You know, he's dressed in a suit, and
hold up a second.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to wrap my mind around this.
Yeah.
You guys had already predetermined this is what you're going to do. You're going to send a female in to ask for liquor. Was she underage?
No, she's actually of age, but we pretended she was underage. Yeah.
How did you guys pretend that?
Well, she said she was underage.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know if you guys had like a fake ID or something.
No.
What is she? White, Spanish?
She's a white girl. Yeah.
White girl?
Yeah.
About how old is she?
22.
Do you know her?
I don't know her.
Bree Mohan's leg begins to bounce involuntarily before he manages to regain control, hinting at the possibility that his nerves are starting to become apparent.
Who introduced him? Who introduced Steve to the whole, like, or he just happened to be a guy coming? Like, how did
No, Steve came for my birthday party.
So you had a birthday party at the thing?
Yeah, Steve came for my birthday party, and then Amar.
And you know Steve from work?
Yeah. So Amar, you know, got involved with the whole group. Like, oh, hey, who are you?
Did Steve ever introduce himself as a law enforcement officer?
I don't believe I've ever heard him say it.
Okay. Not in front of you?
Right.
Did he ever carry a firearm or a badge on him?
When he was working, I don't think he carried it into the club.
Okay. All right. So Constantine walks over to this female, and what happens?
While Amar was with the female.
Okay.
And basically he's like, hey, ma'am, can I see your ID? And she's like, sure. So she shows the ID, and Constantine kind of looks at the ID, and he looks back at her, and then he starts talking to Amar. At this point in time, you know, we're not in the group. It's separate.
Yeah.
Me and Steve are kind of just watching from the chair smoking hookah. And Amar comes running right to me. Talk to this guy. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, he's checking the ID, man. I don't know who he is. He might be a cop. I'm like, all right, I'll talk to the guy. So I go talk to the guy, and like on the sideline, we're kind of laughing, you know, a little bit. We're joking around because it's funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're like, okay, you know, the guy's obviously nervous about something now. So anyway, we go through the motions. We play it out a little bit. You know what I mean? And you know, Constantine's telling him, he's like, you know, you could get shut down. You know what I mean, for serving alcohol. You know what I mean? I didn't hear Constantine say he was a cop at all during any point in time.
Do you ever expose a badge?
No, he showed his security. The funniest part about it is he showed his security card.
So
Social security card?
No.
Security like a license?
Like a security card, like, you know, with his picture on it.
Okay, so he never exposed a badge, a gun, and a radio?
I know he had a radio on him.
Like walkie-talkie type?
Yeah, but we didn't have any radios. It was just something he brought in with him.
Did he ever have like an earpiece? Do you know if he's wearing an earpiece?
Yeah, I don't remember if he had an earpiece in.
Do you guys normally have them? Like,
earpieces?
Do you have an earpiece at work?
I don't wear an earpiece. I don't like them. But some of the guys wear earpieces at work, you know.
I don't like them.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the earpiece.
Okay. So you guys are talking, you and Constantine, and then what happens? Where's Constantine from, by the way?
I'm not.
White, Asian, black?
I think he's Mexican, maybe.
Maybe Mexican?
Yeah.
Some sort of Latino?
Yeah, Mexican, maybe.
Does he speak Spanish? Do you know that?
I don't know if he speaks Spanish. He's got a little bit of an accent, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're and Constantine are talking. Amar?
Yeah, Amar.
Amar's freaking out over.
He's freaking out. Yeah, he's shaking. He's shaking, acting crazy. He's like, "Whoa, who is this guy? You guys got to take care of this for me."
Is that something that he, with the girl or something? Is that something that is normal for him? Like, does he do that?
Yeah, he's gonna have coming up soon. He's gonna have some serious issues with sexual harassment and sexual assault case.
From
Okay.
So he hires these girls that don't have paperwork,
mm-hmm.
and he has them work, and then he pays them like $6 an hour or whatever, you know what I mean? And then says, "Oh, well, you know, I'm going to give you 18% of the tips." Well, the whole problem is that the only tips he gives them is what cash goes into the tip jar. He doesn't give them the cash from the credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I've learned all of this over time, being around him more and more. He's a douchebag. So yeah, she came to me and told me, and I said, "Hey, you know, you need to go talk to Orange County, you know, let the detective know or something what's going on." I go, "You can't just let that slide, because if he did it to you, then what everybody else is saying is true too."
So the reason why you guys are playing the prank is kind of like, I guess, because you know that this is something that he does?
Yeah.
The prank appears to be more sophisticated than one would anticipate. Given the limited time Brijmohan spends at the lounge, the involvement of numerous people seems excessive, extending to the addition of at least one individual whom Brijmohan isn't acquainted with, making the scenario seem implausible.
At this point in time, Amar and me start talking.
But this is all happening like right there inside the hookah lounge?
Mm-hmm.
By the bar or by where?
Between the bar and the couch. Amar kept trying to get us all to sit down and smoke.
Okay.
Instead of standing. He's like, "Oh, come smoke," and he kept trying to get Constantine to smoke and, you know, offer him all kinds of stuff, you know. So anyway, I go up to Amar, I start talking to Amar. I started to feel bad because he was all worked up. So I'm like, "Hey, bro, calm down. We're going to take care of this. No big deal. No big deal, man. Just relax. Calm down." I go, "This happens all the time, you know, at any bar. Just be cool.
Mm-hmm.
We got this, man." I was like, "You didn't do anything wrong." So Amar then is like, "Hey, man, you know, we got to get this guy out of here. Whatever it takes." I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to do, bro? I can't do nothing." He's like, "Go tell him you're a cop." I'm like, "No, bro." I was like, "You nuts?" I was like, I'll tell him I'm security. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, "I'll show him my U.S. corrections card. Maybe that'll help." Mm-hmm. So he's like, yeah, do whatever you got to do. So I go back over and we start laughing and some more. And then I look over at Amar, and you can tell he's kind of like iffy now because we're laughing now. Me and the guy are laughing. You know, it's not. You shouldn't be laughing if it's a serious thing, right? So I go back to Amar, and he's like, "What's going on? Why were you guys laughing?" I was like, "Oh, it was just a joke," he said, and it was funny. And he's like, "Oh, I don't like the jokes right now, man. I'm nervous." I'm like, "Well, don't be nervous." I was like, "We're going to take care of this." This probably all happened within an hour, this whole thing, right? So, anyway, Amar, we all sit down, and Amar's like, "All right, here's what we're going to do." He's like, "You seem like a good guy, and these two are good guys, and I'm a good guy, and I swear," and he does this thing with the grabs the mustache. He's like, "I swear to God, nobody will ever find out about this." And so Constantine's like, "Okay, what's up?" He goes, "I'm going to come back, and I'm going to give you something, and will this all be taken care of, correct?" So Constantine's like, "Okay, bro." You know what I mean? At the time, we're thinking he's going to come back and like, "Here's a hookah." Yeah. You know what I mean? This, that, or the third, you know, something.
Now, you guys are all huddled still inside the
Yes.
Okay, and there's people around.
No, well, it was late. It was later in the night, and it was a quieter night, so people had already began leaving and stuff like that. The lights were turned on. They were closing.
Okay.
You know, it was closing time. We didn't want to do the prank in front of all the customers and have the customers be all crazy, you know what I mean, and make it look crazy. You know, we figured out piss Amar off.
Yeah.
So we were still, like I said, you know, part of the prank, we were still looking out for him. We didn't want to make people think like something weird was going on. So Anyway, Amar's like, hey, let's go. I'm like, where do you want to go? He's like, drive me, we're going to go to Burger King, and then we're going to go to the bank. I'm like, okay. So we go to Burger King, Amar and me get food, and then we go to the bank.
Who paid at Burger King?
He paid.
Do you know if he paid cash or?
I'm pretty sure he used a credit card.
Card?
Yeah.
You go drive-through or went in?
Drive-through.
In your car?
Yep.
Which car was that?
I had a Nissan Murano at the time.
What color?
Dark gray.
Was that your car or?
No, it was a rental. My truck transmission was broken.
What kind of truck is it?
It's a Ford Explorer. Yeah, I just replaced the engine and the transmission went.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys drove to Burger King and then the bank?
Yep.
And at the bank, drive-through or walk-up?
Amar got out and went to the ATM. It was a walk-up ATM.
Okay.
At the bank. So Amar gets back in the car, and I'm like, all right, what's your plan, bro? You went to the bank. He's like, I'm going to offer him money. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea, bro. He's like, oh, no, in this country, money buys everything. All right, bro, good luck. So I bring him back. We sit down again. We're smoking. And then he goes, come with me. I go, okay. So we go behind.
Typically, at this stage in a prank, individuals would openly confess to the joke. However, the exchange of money complicates matters, making it challenging to establish that it wasn't an act of extortion.
On OBT, where he was like buying cars from like an auction.
Send them overseas.
Through that, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so he's digging out of the bank bag.
Right.
More money and what?
So he grabs the money up, and we go back and we sit down, and he makes an offer with this guy, right, Constantine. And
what does he offer?
He says he'll give him a total of $2,000. Then he'll give him $1,000 right now, cash, and then he'll give him another $1,000 the next night, cash. All right. So the plan was that prank was going to end that night. Mm-hmm. Right there.
Did Constantine ever identify himself as any type of law enforcement?
Not around me.
Okay. Did he, at any point, obviously to your knowledge, ever discuss the fact that there were violations that he had at his place?
Yeah.
And, like, did he discuss any fines or anything like that? They were going to be levied against?
No, I don't remember him saying anything about any fines. I know he said that he knows the place has been fined.
Okay.
Well, what was the complaint like? What did Constantine tell him was?
What was the?
Why was he going to get in trouble?
Well, he wasn't going to get him in trouble that night. That was the funny part about it, is that he was like, everything he said was, you know, you can get in trouble for this.
You know, you can get in trouble for this.
You know, you could get in trouble for that. You know what I mean? He never said like, hey, bro, you're going to jail. I'm going to get you in trouble. You know what I mean? He never said that. Yeah. It was just, like I said, part of the prank was to, like, advise him, bro, this is what could happen to you. You know what I mean? So don't do this shit. Off. Stop this shit, dude. Because I like coming here. I like sitting down and smoking, you know.
You're going to mess it up for all of us.
Right. Everybody's going to, none of us are going to have a place to come anymore. You know what I mean? And by this point in time, like, when I first started going there versus towards the end, yeah, I was coming there all the time with groups of friends, and because his business was dying, you know, plus it's slow season for him in this area on I-Drive.
So you're bringing
in that area. I was bringing them customers. These guys were paying full price. You know what I mean? I never asked for him to give them a discount. You know what I mean? And the only thing was is that when I was with the group, I was the one that didn't have to pay. You know what I mean? That was always the deal with me and him.
Okay. So back to the prank.
Yeah.
He's got a pocket full of money.
Yeah.
And he's telling Constantine what?
He's like, oh, here. So this is where he pulls out the money, and it's $1,000, right?
And where are you guys at this time?
We're all sitting down in the table smoking hookah. So he's like, I'm giving you this $1,000 to Constantine, and he says, I want you to erase everything out of your phone.
What was in his phone?
Constantine took pictures of the ID.
Whose ID?
The girl's ID.
Okay.
Yeah. So he goes, I want you to erase everything out of your phone. I'm going to give you another $1,000 tomorrow to come back. And we're all over. So this is where the prank became a 2-day prank. Mm-hmm. Because he said, come back tomorrow.
You're going long prank.
Right.
Did he hand the money to Constantine, or did he give it to you to give to Constantine?
We were sitting in a group, so it was Constantine, me, Amar and Steven. So Amar handed it to me, and I handed it to Constantine.
And what was it, like a wad?
It was a wad, yeah.
So he handed you the wad, and you handed the money to Constantine?
Right.
Okay. This is the only time you've ever touched that money?
Right.
Okay.
So we passed the money.
And you guys are sitting down, like
yeah,
with a smoke hookah?
Yeah, we're sitting down. Yeah.
That's like, I've been in the place. Like, you step in through the front door. I know in the far back by the DJ, there's a door. And then on the far left is the back door.
Correct.
And
there's 3 doors. There's the front door, the side door, and the back door.
Where are you guys sitting in relation to those seats?
By the side door. Okay. Right next to the DJ's area.
Okay, the little couch for that. All right.
So, no, side note, now I'm thinking about it. When Amar was counting the money out from the bag, that was the first time I touched money.
Where did you get that bag from? Where was it?
The fact that no one involved said a word suggests that this was the preconceived plan from the beginning.
He reached down behind his desk. I don't know.
Where's that at?
His desk, if you're inside the building, there's like a little cutoff spot where there's a kitchen, and then like a computer, and then his camera system and everything. There's a camera system there.
In the place?
Yeah, I've helped him install some of his cameras. So there is a camera system there. But right next there, like his desk is right here, and then you can't get to the desk because it's blocked off by the bar. So it's like his little office space, basically. So in the office space, he reached underneath the table, his desk, and pulled out.
He pulls out a bag full of money.
So you said he gave you the money there?
Yeah, he gave me the money there.
Why did he give you the money?
Because he wanted me to pay the guy. He wanted me. He's like, Sean, you take care of this. You deal with this guy. Blah blah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like he wanted his hands clean from whatever was going on. He figured that because he saw me and the kid laughing that we had better connection type deal. He's like, you just deal with the guy. You deal with the guy.
Okay. So he handed you how much money?
Handed me $1,000. Okay. Right. So then, when we get around the corner, I said, all right, here, you give it to the guy because, you know, it's you. It's gonna look funny if I give it to the guy. Okay. So I give it to him. When we get to the couches, he hands it to me. I hand it to the guy.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if it makes a difference.
Not really. There's a lot of handing and taking.
Yeah.
When he went, you guys said you went to Burger King, then you went to the bank, and then he came back. But then he's saying he got the money. He already had money in the bag. He had a bag full of money. So why did he go to the ATM? Like why?
I really don't know why he went to the ATM.
Did he come back with a bunch of money from the ATM?
He had money. Yeah, he had money from the ATM.
Like how much? Like what do you think? Was it stacks or was it?
No, it was maybe a few $100s.
Because I'm just thinking, like, why did he make you go all the way over there?
Yeah, I don't know.
If in the back of the thing he's got a bag full of money.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever talk in the car? Was he freaking out, or?
He was just really freaked out the whole time, really nervous the whole time.
Okay.
You know, I kept telling him not to worry, tried to keep calming him down, you know what I mean?
So back to the couch.
Yeah. So
Amari hands you the money, you hand the money to Constantine.
Correct.
And then what's said? What happens?
He's like, all right, I want to see you delete it right now. Now he gave him money, so he feels a little bit better. He's like,
what's Steve doing with the whole thing?
Just kind of sitting there.
Okay. With the lump on the log?
Well, in the beginning of the prank, Steve didn't know about the prank. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That was the funny part too.
Did you tell him anywhere?
We ended up telling him. Yeah, we ended up telling him one because, and towards like the middle when Steve was hanging out with Amar, I said, "Come here, bro." I was like, "Yo, bro, we're playing a prank," and he's like, "Oh, you." You know what I mean? Because this is what we do.
Okay.
So anyway,
he deletes
the pictures. He deletes the pictures out of the phone. And Amar goes, "I swear to God, man, we all keep this right here. I'll pay you again tomorrow. You come back. I'll give you another $1,000, and you come here and you hang out and you smoke hookah and we hang out." And he's like, "All right, bro." So he goes out the side door. We continue to talk to Amar.
Where did he go? Where did Constantine go?
He went out the side door. I think he left.
Okay.
So anyway, the conversation starts between me, Negron, and Amar, and me, Steve, and Amar.
Who's Negron?
I think that's Steve's last name.
He's Spanish dude?
Yeah.
What, and you don't know Constantine's last name. Like, how do we get a hold of Constantine? How do you get a hold of him?
I got his number, yeah.
Here's the deal, bro. Well, we'll talk at the end, but keep going.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So anyway, the plan was to go back the next night.
So did he leave with this guy's money?
Yeah.
So Constantine took the money.
Yeah.
Dipped out.
Yeah.
So it's you and Steve.
Yeah.
Sitting there with Amar.
Yeah.
What is said?
We go, we talk about what happened. Amar's more calm. He's like, yeah, this guy come back and I pay him tomorrow and we're all good. I don't worry about nothing, man. He's like, I got money. I was like, okay. So we talk a little bit. He thanks me and Steve. He's like, hey, man, we appreciate everything that's going on. Appreciate you helping me out, blah, blah. He's like, we'll deal with this tomorrow. So I'm like, all right. So now we leave and I'm sorry. When all this stuff is going on, what is it like? Where's the wait staff, the rest of the people? Like, what's going on? They were all there.
Like, are they paying attention? Like,
with the girls, yeah. Well, no, they were cleaning. Amar made them clean.
Taking place at the end of the day decreased the likelihood of witnesses who could recall a payoff.
So people left then?
Yeah.
Or are they cleaning in front of people?
No. People, by this, like I said, it was an hour. It was like 1:30, and the hookah lounge closed at 2. So it was like an hour. People had already left. When me and Amar...
Nobody was told to leave?
Nobody was told to leave, no.
Okay.
When me and Amar went to the bank, people had already left. So, by that time.
Okay.
Yeah, because he wouldn't just leave with the people there.
So you guys he thanks you guys. You guys walk out, or do you guys stay there? What else happens?
Me, him, and Steve me and Amar and Steve, we walk out together. We go out towards the front near his car, and we're discussing and talking about, what happened. He's saying, thank you, appreciates it. He says, tomorrow I give the guy more money, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So we all leave.
Who left first?
Steve leaves, then Amar leaves, then I leave.
Okay.
Wait. Maybe Amar left first.
What is Steve driving?
A Nissan.
What? Like a Nissan?
Sentra.
What color?
Black.
And Amar has?
Silver Lexus.
Like a newer one? Like a nice one or an old one?
It's a nice one. Yeah, it's not old.
But it's newer. 2-door or 4-door?
I think it's a 4-door.
Okay. So Amar goes which way, and which way do you guys go?
We all traveled the same direction out of the plaza because there's no other option.
Yeah.
And then I think Amar went towards his house, and then me and Steve left. And Steve, and Constantine met up at Denny's. And with Denny's...
Is it far or is it close?
No, it's right around the corner.
Huh.
That's
right.
Yeah. If you're on Kirkman, you take a right on the International. It's right there. It's literally like right around the corner from the...
Okay, so you take Universal northbound,
yeah,
and you come around the other end over there.
Yeah.
So the Denny's at Kirkman and International.
Yeah.
So was that a thing? Like, did you guys...
Pre-planned to meet there?
Was that hey, we'll meet at Denny's? Or did you call him and say, hey, what's up?
We got on the phones and we're like, bro, where the f*** are you?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, let's meet at Denny's. So we went to Denny's.
Did you guys meet at the Wawa or anything?
No.
Never been at the Wawa?
No, we didn't go to Wawa at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we went to Denny's, and then at Denny's we were laughing, joking around. This guy, we got him, you know what I mean? So the plan from there was we're gonna make it the next day there. We're gonna put the money in a card, right? And we're gonna give him the card.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna say, bro, we got you. We planned for a whole group to be there and everything.
Yeah.
And the group was gonna be there and pay. You know what I mean? They're not trying to get nothing free. They're gonna still pay.
Friends or
a group of friends and people. You know what I mean? Just to go there.
When you guys went to the Denny's, where'd you sit?
We didn't eat. Yeah, we didn't go inside and eat.
We just met in the parking lot?
We met in the parking lot. We were going to go inside and eat, and then the lady was like, it's going to be a minute. And there was, like, nobody inside, so I was like, dude, this. I got work in the morning.
So y'all walked in and walked right out. About what time was this?
3-ish, maybe.
Like between 3 and 3:30?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So you guys were going to do a big reveal the next day.
Right.
The decision to wait a day before asserting that it was all a prank intensifies the suspicion of the detectives. Such a delay is unconventional, especially when a prank has escalated to the point of involving money or jeopardizing someone's safety.
They were in on it? Like they knew what was going on, or what happened?
Most of those people were Steven's people. So,
Yeah.
So
I know Steve
wrangled it up?
Yeah. I know Steve told some of them about it. So.
And about what time was this?
I want to say like 8 or 9 p.m. That day's a little fuzzy.
Okay. Did you work that day?
Yeah, I worked that day.
Okay. So you guys show up?
Hookah lounge. No,
No,
regular
not
security
hookah lounge, yeah.
So you guys show up for the big reveal as you, Steve's mom and her group.
Mm-hmm.
And then how does it go down?
Me and Steve went to go talk to Amar, and Amar came up to us, and he's like...
Did you guys drive in separate vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, because we showed up at different times.
Okay.
Yeah. So Amar's like, where's this hooker? I want to pay him his money now. And I'm like, oh, man, what's going on? What are you so amped up about? Yesterday you were all cool. You're like, oh, this is good. I got money. And he's like, no, I want him now. Give me his number. And I'm like, we don't have his number. I was like, he said he's on his way, though. He told us yesterday he'd be here at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like 8 o'clock now. You know what I mean?
Give me some time.
Right. And he's like, no, I want to pay this guy now. I'm going to give him his money now and get him the out of here. I'm like, dude, calm the down. What is wrong with you? He was acting crazy.
Mm.
So he's like, you guys go sit in VIP, which we never sit in VIP. He always has a chair set up for us that we sit in all the time in the front, by the register, so that nobody can pass us.
Right.
You know what I mean? To get to the back, because nobody's allowed in the back. So I'm like, sit in VIP, bro. I was like, what's wrong with you? You good? I was like, why you got to sit over there? He's like, don't worry about it. Just fucking get this guy. I want to pay him his money and get him the fuck out of here. So now me and Steve are like, dude, he's going to be pissed. Like,
is he agitated or?
Yeah, he's angry. Yeah. I'm like, he's going to be pissed. I was like, this guy's going to be really pissed off. I was like, maybe we went a little too far on him with this. Maybe we, you know. So anyway, we're trying to call Constantine. Constantine's not answering. Constantine got issues with stuff. So me and Steve are like, should we tell him now? Like, just be like, hey, bro, it's a prank. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Constantine's on the way. Like, we're all here for you. Like, it was a joke, man. Now, Amar, side note, Amar knows we play pranks. We've played pranks on Amar before. All right? This is not like a random, all of a sudden I'm playing a prank on Amar, or all of a sudden I'm playing a prank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We played pranks in the building before. You know what I mean? It's just something that we do. One night we played a prank. We shut all the music down. Like, we took all the wires apart. Not that it's hard to put back together. Just plug in, input, output. And he couldn't figure out what was going on with any of the equipment.
Bree Mohan remained steadfast in asserting that everything was merely a prank, displaying a lack of concern about potential consequences during the interview. As the interrogation progressed, Bree Mohan continued to face mounting pressure from the detectives. The critical question arose, did he attempt to portray himself as a police officer to extort money from the business owner? Or was this genuinely an elaborate prank gone wrong? To extract the truth, the detectives decided to employ the classic good cop, bad cop routine. However, Brij Mohan's unique advantage, coming from his familiarity with law enforcement, promised an unexpected twist to the outcome, different from the typical scenario with suspects.
Oh, what the f***, I gotta call somebody, and we're like, nah, man, we got you, man. We plug it back in. So this is nothing new. Amar knows we do the prank thing.
Okay.
So anyway, that night, we walk back towards the back, and Amar's talking to Susan, and they're like screaming at each other. I don't know what the deal is, but they're yelling back and forth. And so...
how do you know it's Susan that he's talking to?
I saw her.
Oh, so she was there?
Yeah, she was there, yeah.
Okay.
Regular clothes or uniform?
No, uniform. She was in her truck. She comes in a SUV.
Where was that at?
Right in the back.
In the back?
Yeah.
So she pulled around the back. You saw them talking, like yelling at each other?
Yeah, they were like yelling at each other, and I don't know what they were yelling about.
Yeah.
I couldn't really hear over the music because I just had a visual. But they were screaming back and forth. Amar comes back in, and Amar's like, dude, I f***ed up. I'm like, what do you mean you f***ed up? He's like, I f***ed up, man. He's like, I wrote a statement against you. I go, you wrote a statement against me.
Yeah.
I go, for what? He's like, I don't know, Susan made me write the statement. I'm like, Susan made you write the statement?
Yeah.
I was like, for what? What's the statement about? And he's like, well, Susan came in and she talked to me today, and, you know, I told her what happened last night, and she said it's fishy, and that you guys all set this up, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what, bro? I was like, it's a prank, man. Like, we have your money. It's coming right now, like, legitimately speaking. Like, we just played another prank, and he's like, oh, my God. And he starts, you know, getting all, like, sad and panicky. He's like, I'm so sorry. I already wrote the statement. I didn't have a choice. Susan made me. That's what I was just yelling with her about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so just tell him that we played the prank on you, bro. Like,
yeah.
I go, Danny knows about the prank. Jen knows about. Everybody knew about the prank, basically, except you.
Who's Danny?
Danny works there.
That's the younger kid?
Yeah, he's 16.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, you know, everybody knew about the prank except you, man. Just talk to Susan. Susan's your friend. Let her know, like, hey, man, we're all good here. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, it's just a prank. We're trying to show you something here.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. He's like, I'll go talk to Susan. He's like, you guys leave. I'll take care of it. I was like, all right, you want us all to leave? I was like, well, shouldn't we just talk to Susan? He's like, no. You guys just leave. Tell Constantine, you know, I'll get the money later. I'm going to talk to Susan. I'm going to let her know everything's cool. I was like, all right, bro. I'll call you later. So we leave, and
out of which door?
The front door.
Okay.
So Steve and me, well, Steve leaves first because I kind of was still uncomfortable about the situation. I was like, I wanted to talk to Susan.
Yeah.
So Steve's family, he left his family there. The family, I went and talked to his family, and I'm like, hey, you know, we got a situation here. I don't know if you guys want to stay or go.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll figure it out. And they're like, oh, we'll stay, because they were already drinking and stuff. I'm like, yeah, we'll stay. No big deal. I was like, all right. So I head out, and as I'm leaving, Steve calls me, and he's like, we got to get a hold of Constantine. We got to get this taken care of, like, right now, because this is looking rough. I was like, yeah, no. I was like, I'll talk to Amar. We'll take care of it. I was like, Amar's decent with me.
Yeah.
So we leave. I try calling Amar.
Did you drive your car out of there?
Yeah. No, I try calling Amar. Amar's not answering. I keep trying to reach out to him. He's not answering. I said, all right.
Did you see any other cops there besides Susan?
I saw two explorers pulling in as I was leaving, but you know, I just assumed they were more Susan's friends, because Susan would show up with some of her crew members, some of her squad too. So it was a black female that would show up with her, and a white male.
Okay. So you dip out. Steve dips out.
Well, Steve left first. And then, yeah.
You guys call Constantine?
Steve reached out to Constantine. I reached out to Constantine. We were trying to figure out how to get him, like I said, you know, Steve and me were, like, talking about it. We're like, dude, this is bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whatever's going on, this looks bad. We need to take care of it ASAP, you know. Constantine wasn't answering at the time.
Okay.
So.
Have you guys talked to Constantine since?
Previous pranks, if any, cannot be equated to the current situation, as they did not involve the exchange of money.
Yeah, this is the funny part about the whole situation, and I still knew this was coming because of how Amar acted. I went to Amar's house, and I gave him the money and the card.
When was this?
Like 2 nights later, because he wasn't returning my phone calls. He wasn't answering anything, so I had Jen reach out to him. And what he told Jen was that it's out of his hands because Susan made him do it. And he said, I don't know how I'm going to take back what I said and what I did. You know what I mean? He said, Susan's going to be mad at me. I can't have Susan mad at me. You know what I mean? So, side note, remember I was telling you earlier, I left that part out. I don't know why, probably because I'm thinking about all this stuff. That same night, when me, Amar, and Steve went outside, that's when he said, I trust you guys because you looked out for me. And then, I don't know if you were here. He wasn't here when we talked about the ex-wife. He asked me to follow his ex-wife around.
Okay.
Well, she's still his wife. And to wait until she parks her car and hide drugs in her car
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah. So that was the same night, and that's when I was like, dude, are you
That was
fucking
the exact
serious?
same night
The same
that
night.
all this stuff happened?
Yeah. The same night. And I was like, dude, are you fucking kidding me, bro?
Before or after this happened?
No, this was when we were outside next to the cars. This was after everything transpired.
At the end of the night?
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I look at you guys as my brothers because you helped me just now and blah, blah, blah. He's like, I don't want to do this because, you know, I know you guys will respect yourselves, but I really need to take care of the situation with her. And he's like, I need you to follow my wife. And he gave us a description of her vehicle, BMW X5. He said, I need you to follow my wife. He's like, I need you to hide drugs in her car. He's like, I'll get the drugs for you. You can hide the drugs in her car and then put an anonymous tip to your peoples. And we're like, your peoples, got it. We understand. But why the would you do that, bro?
Yeah. So the day that you returned the card and the money to him, how do you know where he lives?
I've been to his house several times.
You've been to his house?
Yeah.
How did that go down?
I went to his door, knocked on the door. He tells me to get the out of here. And I'm like, dude, here's your card, bro. The money's inside. Like, it was a fucking prank, bro.
When is this? Like, how many days after this stuff happened? So, like, the first day the incident happened?
Yeah, it was Friday the incident went down.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like Tuesday or Wednesday that I showed up to his house. And I was like, and he's like, I just got out of the hospital, bro. Get the out of here. He's like, I don't want to.
What was he in the hospital for?
I don't know. We didn't talk much. It was just him being an asshole and me telling him, bro, it was a prank. Like, chill the out, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I guess I shouldn't have played the prank on you that hard. This one was serious, I guess. So I gave him the card. He took the card, and he's like, you get the out of here. And I was like, all right, bro.
Were you by yourself? Or you had
I was by myself. And I know how the trespassing stuff works. You know, I trespass many people doing security, so I'm like, I'm not going to push it. You know what I mean? If I stay there, then I'm at risk of trespassing, you know. So he told me to get the out of here, and so I left. I called Jen. I'm like, Jen, this guy's nuts. Like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, all right, well, I'll talk to him. So she was trying to reach out to him and talk to him too, you know.
If indeed this was a prank, it appears poorly conceived. Any mishap with the money would have worsened the challenge of proving that Constantine hadn't excluded them from the arrangement. The deteriorated relationship between Bri Mohan and Alyamos makes it even more challenging to separate the truth.
And I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, it was a prank. Like,
yeah.
Like, we've been friends for the last year. You're going to get mad over a prank, and that's it? And he's like, get the out of here.
And that's all that happened?
Yeah.
He got arrested yesterday?
Yeah.
Did you have anything to do with that?
I did write a statement because of the situation where he asked me to follow his wife and put drugs in her car, because I literally feared for her life. Like, I ended up meeting his wife through Jen, and she's like distraught and hiding in a harbor house and all kinds of crazy. Like, she won't even go to a house. She's like staying in some kind of group home type deal or something. She's like literally scared of him, and the dude had made threats, like just talking, you know, while he was drinking, that he has a Beretta, which I've seen his Beretta. He's pulled his Beretta out, and that he was going to shoot her. You know what I mean? So I legitimately was like, this. Now that I'm realizing this dude's a scumbag, I'm like, this dude probably is capable of this. You know what I mean? So I went and talked to a detective, and I told her, I said, look, this is the situation. This is what's going on. What should I do? She's like, well, I'll have you write a statement, and I'll have whoever else has information write a statement. So, and then we advised her about Susan as well.
How did you get to that detective? Like, did you call to do a report, or were you with?
We came right now.
So
yeah. I came, Marwa came, which is his ex-wife.
So you came with her. She came to actually do whatever it was.
Yeah, because she had other stuff against him too. I guess he contacted her, and after the injunction, he contacted her, so she was coming down here to file a report as well. Mm-hmm. So we all talked to the detective and asked the detective, what should we do, whether we should go to a lawyer or write a statement, and the detective advised us to write a statement. And I advised her everything that's going on. I told her about Susan, and that Susan's, you know, good friends with him and whatnot, and she said, all right, well, I'll reach out to Susan once he gets arrested, and advise her maybe she should stay away from this guy. Give her a heads up.
Back to the incident between you and him. Mm-hmm. Is that all there is to the story?
As far as?
The incident and all that? between you guys?
Like, are we done talking? Like, is it over between me and him? Is that
No. Like, was the prank over? Is there anything to add to that incident? Is that pretty much
That's it.
the gist of it? Okay. And you swear to me that's true?
Dude, it's a prank. Like that, I know how it looks. Obviously, like I said, I've worked with law enforcement. I work for U.S. Corrections. I do security. I get the aspect of it. I know that it looks bad.
Yeah. But you swear that that's the truth, though?
It was a prank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how do we get hold of Constantine, though? Or Steve, either?
I have their numbers. I could give you their numbers.
No, we're going to write a warrant for your phone. I'd rather, have a warrant on it so we can go through. All right.
The detective's unintentional reveal tips Brijmohan off to the lack of sufficient evidence against him. If the evidence were substantial, a confession might not be necessary unless it served as a bargaining chip for pursuing others involved in the situation.
The story that you tell me does not jive with the physical evidence that we have. You know they have a camera system in there.
Mm-hmm.
You told me that you yourself kind of messed with it a little bit. The way the video plays has not a lot to do with the way your story plays. So, like I said, this is your chance for you to kind of, talk to us and tell us exactly what happened. If it got out of hand and it was a stupid shit that you guys try to do, now is the time. Because, the boat's leaving.
Right.
So, do you want to change any part of your story?
No, it was a prank, and we just took it too serious.
Okay. Do you know that Florida statute for you to commit grand theft, you have to deprive somebody of their property, temporarily or permanently, right?
Okay.
You guys deprived him of his property. When we interviewed him, he would have swore on a stack of whatever religious document he believes in that you guys were cops. His jaw hit the table when we told him you were not a cop. In his mind, you, Steve, and Constantine were cops. Obviously, you can see how we would take something like that very serious.
Of course.
If you're running around telling people you're a law enforcement officer or representing yourself as a law enforcement officer, which you kind of have some history of.
The crux of the investigation centers on the impersonation of a law enforcement officer, with the potential extortion charge serving as legal leverage against Brijmohan, while authorities work to establish that he deliberately misrepresented himself.
I don't know how.
Were you arrested a couple times for that, or like looked at, or something like that? No?
Not at all.
Okay. What happened in New York?
What happened?
Were you arrested in New York for anything?
I was arrested in New York for selling a firearm.
Selling a firearm?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was adjudicated, I think. Adjudication withheld.
Adjudication withheld?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay. My point is, bro, we kind of have a lot of interest in stuff like this.
Right.
I know sometimes a bad decision kind of keeps going, and you kind of unravel it, and next thing you know, you're sitting there, yanked out of your bed in the middle of the day by a bunch of cops, and you're like, shit, I got to find a way out of this. And I understand, bro. I've never been in situations like this, but it's been close. And by the grace of God, I'm sitting where I'm sitting. Just don't throw away your life, bro, with this situation. Was it your idea to roll this guy, or was it Constantine or Steve's? Now's the time, bro.
What do you mean, roll the guy?
Like this whole thing, this whole joke that...
The prank?
I'm not going to call it a prank. I'm going to call it extortion, because that's what statute it follows under.
Right.
This whole thing, was it your idea? Was it Steve's? Was it Constantine's?
It was Constantine's idea to do the prank. But we do the pranks.
Okay.
We play pranks on everyone. That's what we do.
Brijmohan remains composed under the mounting pressure, steadfastly maintaining that it was all part of a prank. His experience working alongside law enforcement has equipped him with a familiarity with interrogation techniques, and he shows no intention of allowing himself to be easily trapped.
You understand how this... Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, pulling the wires from the speakers, that's a prank.
Yeah.
Driving a dude to the ATM and keeping his money for 4 or 5 days
Flashing guns,
until
badges.
you figure out what's going on. That's not a prank. You know what I mean? And I get it. Like, hey, well, I gave him the back. Yeah, you gave it back 4 or 5 days later after the gig was up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After he called, whoever showed up, took reports, did whatever, got interviewed. And yeah, I understand your point of view where you're like, nah, this was a prank, cut it out. Right? I understand where you could, I get it. I get where you're going with, like, if I was in that situation, I might try that shit too, all right? I understand that. But understand that once we leave here, that's not going to fly. You understand that? Like, you're smart. I know that you're smart enough to know that. You understand? Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the situation where you was at as far as working the details at your work, being able to carry a gun.
Right. Yeah, I've been doing.
Dummies don't get those jobs. You understand me? Dummies don't do that. And you've been doing it for a long time. We know because we have everything.
Yeah.
You understand? So I'm going to give you credit for that, bro. You understand? I'm giving you credit for that. However, don't, like he's saying, don't make the mistake and then just say, I'm going to run with it. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? Them other two dudes, they're not sitting here right now. You understand? And yeah, there's pictures, right?
Yeah,
or whatever.
I know, yeah.
There's pictures of them there too, right? And there, but you're here, right? So they're in the picture, and eventually they'll get dealt with or whatever. But you're physically here with us, and we went to your house and yanked you out of it, took your guns, all your stuff. You're the one dealing with it right now. You understand? Yeah. So I get it, and I understand that you're in no way, shape, or form. You're not a dummy. I'm giving you credit for that. I'm talking to you man to man. I understand that. However, brutally honest with you right now.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to jail for it, and you're gonna get stuck with it because nobody is gonna believe that it was a prank for 5, 6, 7 days. You understand what I'm saying? I had to tell that guy, hey, just so you know, those guys aren't deputies. Those guys are not cops.
Right.
They may be some type of security or whatever, and I understand that, but they're not straight up law enforcement people. You understand that? That guy had no idea. That guy was like, what?
Yeah, unfortunately.
You know what I'm saying?
If you don't mind me cutting in.
Go ahead.
Unfortunately, he did know that I was a security officer. And he did know I worked for U.S. Corrections because in front of Susan, he said I was a cop. And then Susan said, you work law enforcement? I said, no, I work with U.S. Corrections. I go, we deal with prisoner transports and stuff like that. People that have warrants and stuff like that. That's what we do. Like, I'm not a
So
cop.
Susan thinks you're a correction officer?
No.
Or works for U.S. Corrections?
No.
You're not a law enforcement.
That's what I'm saying. I told her because he introduced me to Susan as a cop. That's what I'm saying. The guy.
Did you correct him?
I corrected her in front of him. I said, no, I'm not a cop. I work with U.S. Corrections. We do prisoner transport. And she's like, oh, okay. That makes sense.
Okay.
So.
Let me give you a little bit of background.
Yeah.
We have some background on you. Let me give you some background on us.
Yeah.
We're not regular detectives, obviously. Regular detectives don't run around with beards and masks and stuff.
Right.
We work criminal intelligence, all right? If we sit you down to talk to you, we already did our homework.
I imagine so.
We knew about you at UF getting arrested at Raleigh when you were working security for the media or whatever it was. We know about your background in New York. We know about the camera system at the bar. Do you not think we've talked to Soto?
Yeah, I'm sure you spoke to her. I'm sure you spoke.
She told us that you introduced yourself as a law enforcement officer. Now, did you notice that when I told you what charges you had, I didn't say impersonating a law enforcement officer, right?
I understood that.
That's coming. So that is going to come. You're going to get charged with that. But don't pee on my head and tell me it's raining. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't lie to me right to my face. I know you know that you guys screwed up.
Right.
The detectives cross a line by prematurely asserting that Brij Mohan is destined for jail, a determination that should only be made through due process and cannot be definitively established without a trial.
I think there's a little bit more to it. If you don't want to come off of it, hey, you're going to take it in the chin. And so are Constantine and Steve. Because this is serious business, bro. If you're not coming off your story that it was a prank, you know we're going to talk to everybody, right?
Yeah, I know.
You're going to talk to Jennifer, Steve, Constantine, and all those guys. And everybody that's involved in this is going to catch whatever charges, come after that. We're going to put every single applicable statute that it applies to this incident, just so you know, because we don't like this sort of nonsense. People saying they're cops and squeezing people. That's not going to happen in this county. All right.
My thing is this, and I don't, it is what it is. You're going to go to jail for extortion today. Them other two dudes, and everybody else we're going to deal with it. It just kind of hurts my feelings that I'm trying to give you a little bit of credit, and you're basically saying, "No, fuck that, it's a prank." So I'm okay with it because we're going to go to court, bro. Mm. You understand?
Yeah.
And there's going to come a time and day when we're on the stand and you're on the stand and I'm on the stand and I'm going to say, yeah, that guy right there said that all these things happened and it was a prank. And if you think that jury is going to believe that this was a prank and that's what you're rolling your thing on, then you're not as smart as I thought you are, which I'm okay with because I'm just going to, it's nothing personal. Yeah. I'm going to walk out here and continue to go grab somebody else. It's not personal. I want you to understand.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, this being your last chance, because I'm going to walk right back out of there. We're going to get the handcuffs. You're going to go to jail. Unless he can convince you to do something or whatever it is. I'll be honest. I'm being 100% honest with you. I don't care whether you tell us or not. Because we already have it here. Yeah. You understand? Mm-hmm. So to make everybody's day shorter, I'm going to go get some handcuffs. You figure it out. You're going to go or you're not going to go. I don't know. It's up to you. But now's the time. So it is what it is, because I don't feel like wasting any more time on it. We have the case. It's here. I was just hoping you might say, look, bro, I understand your part of it. I'm going to tell you my part of it. It went too far. My bad. This guy thought about it. It happened. I probably shouldn't have let it happen. It's a bad decision on my part. And then I would have said, here, I got no problem with that. Here's a statement. Boom. Put it on paper. Tell me that it wasn't your fault, that you didn't mean to go that far. Whatever it is that you want to tell me, tell me. That's what this was for. Yeah. But if you don't want to do that, I'm good with that. Let's just keep it moving.
You know why I know this is not a prank, bro? Because if I would have played a prank on somebody and I was sitting at a police station looking at extortion, grand theft, and false imprisonment, I would be losing my mind to try to prove my point. I would be, here, take my phone, look at my phone. Whatever you guys need, I would cooperate to try to make this thing, clear. Mm-hmm. Because it's not, it's not what it is. Mm-hmm. You're sitting here cool as a cucumber, bro. Because you know that if you open your mouth and you tell the story that really happened, there's going to be more coming down on you.
I understand that I'm in some shit right now, but I honestly played a prank. Okay. You know what I mean? And I know it got way out of hand. I know the prank got out of hand.
I get it.
You know what I mean? And I know it's tough to believe because if I were wearing that badge and in your seat, I would probably be the same way you are right now, to be honest with you. It's definitely not an easy one to believe here. And
I get it.
Sucks.
The detectives escalate their intensity, pressuring Bree Mohan to believe that this is his final opportunity to tell his story. In reality, if it were genuinely the case, they could conclude the interview and let the evidence unfold during the trial, rather than insist on an immediate confession.
So, to him, that was not something out of the ordinary.
Right.
And that's something that somebody that knows him can go, you know what? This guy's a little bit of a scumbag, like he told us. Grabs his employees, treats everybody like crap. You know what? Nobody would think twice if we squeezed him for $1,000. Am I anywhere near it?
No, I see what you're saying, but that's not how it went down. He is a scumbag, though.
Okay. Yeah, but scumbags, they have rights too. You understand?
No,
so you can't just squeeze him for his money because he's a scumbag. That's not how it goes.
Again, but I didn't squeeze him, you know what I mean, at all. I didn't squeeze him at all.
You're rolling the dice on the prank thing. Is that what we're doing?
We played a prank, and he offered money during the prank.
Check Roger.
Where you going, bro?
What happened? Yeah, grab that.
All right, man. Sit tight.
All right.
You got iron.
So, what's up? Hey, what's up?
Brijmohan maintains a mild amusement in response to the good cop, bad cop routine, but remains resolute in not allowing it to alter his narrative.
25 years, what color shirt was he wearing? Well, my mind said, you could wear a black, but what did I tell them? And that's the situation. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're in a situation where the only thing can set you free is what? The truth. That's it. And when I say set you free, I mean, first of all, on the inside, you know you're a better person than that, man. Your girlfriend, I didn't catch her name, but she's really nice. Holly.
Yeah.
She sat there and she was talking to us, and like I said, she was in total shock. You know what I'm saying? So you got this two life that you're living, two lives. Well, you played a prank because you know Amir or whatever his name, it was an easy rip. It was an easy rip because you didn't think it was going to get this far. The issue came in was that he knew Soto. So he involved the police. Now, your situation is, whoa, you weren't anticipating the police getting involved in this. No. So now he involved the police. She telling him what to do. He all discombobulated because, like, on one hand it's this, but he telling her, and dude, you got caught up. You got caught up. Now, dude, you got to make this right. Not me, not Detective Reddy, not Detective Roman. You got to make this right. So my thing, dude, I want to hear the truth. When they walked out there, man, listen, you're not going to tell me that Carlos is a bad dude. I'm not going to believe that. But if you tell me Carlos lying, oh, I believe that. But the thing about it is, you can make this right. Don't do it, man. Come with me this time. That's why I took the mask off, because you're somebody I need to get real with. Because if you don't, you're going to screw yourself. If you do what's right now, you won't have to worry about what's wrong later. You feel me? You got to do what's right. If you do what's right now, you won't have to worry about what's wrong later, because what's going to happen is now, if we take you out here with this story about the prank, you got to lay in your cell, and now you got to hope that, damn, I hope everybody's story jives. And you know it's not, because you made that stuff up on the fly. You haven't got a chance to tell your boys about it, so all of a sudden we're going to have all these different stories, and you know what's going to come back and look bad on? You. It's going to come back and look bad on you, because you know better. You know better, because, dude, one side, in the daytime, you're a great dude. You're like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You're not a bad dude at all. Somebody I would hang out with.
The limited opportunity for Brijmohan to speak works in his favor, and he sees no need to deviate from allowing the situation to unfold naturally. Until the detectives return with additional evidence, he feels reasonably secure in his position.
You're somebody I probably would hang out with, because I went through everything, and the only thing that screws us up is that right there. Mm-hmm. That screws us up. Well, this is a DVD CD. It screws us up. It screws us up because when you in the middle of doing a prank or whatever the prank was, and this wasn't a prank until the police got involved. That's when it became a prank. Before the police got involved, y'all, it was an easy rip. Because this dude is scatterbrained. He's everywhere. And it was a non-violent rip. You know what I'm saying? It was non-violent. But my thing is, it was playing a role that you knew, and what you gonna do, you can get over on him. If it wasn't for the police getting involved, you guys would have said, oh, that was an easy rip. Now, the thing about what you got to do now is that, dude, you got to make this right. Because if you don't, remember what I said about 5 or 6 seconds ago. You got to do what's right now. You know what I'm saying? If you do what's right now, you don't have to worry about what's wrong later. And you can't take the chance on saying, I wonder what they're going to find out. You can't do it. So that whole testimony, you just spent an hour not only convincing them that it was a prank, you sitting here saying you really had to convince yourself.
He's not convinced.
No, he's not convinced. But this is the thing. You're a better person than that. Like I told Detective Ray, you're a better person than that. I bet everything I own, you're better than that. You're better than that. And you're so much better than that. I took off my mask to disclose my identity, to be real with you. And I hope when you see him out in public, you don't blast me, but that's the chance I'll take. Because I don't want you to go down. Not on a lie.
What's your name?
My real name? It's Eric.
Well, I mean, what's your last name?
Well, I'm not going to tell you that now. I mean, I took my mask
No,
off.
I mean, in case I wanted to get a hold of you.
Oh, I'll give you my card.
Okay. Yeah.
But my thing is this. I did what I was supposed to do. Because when they came out there, I'm like, oh, my freaking, you know better than that, Carlos. Come with me. Sean, I'm sorry. Come with me.
Been called Carlos before. That's funny.
Come with me. Come with me, man. Don't do that. Don't blow it all up. Now you screwed up. But remember, the police got involved. That's what made it a prank. So you can laugh all you want to, man, but that shit is not funny.
I'm not laughing
Listen to
at
me,
you, man.
dude.
I'm laughing at you.
You got to come clean. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. You got to come clean, because we got you. That's why we came to you first. And you know what normally happens? Think about it. Before I became a cop, I had some friends that was thugs. First thing they want to do is go to point fingers. Point fingers. The dude was so scared. First thing he talked to Susan Soda. What to do? Then, you know, she got to find out, hey, what do we do? I said, oh, cool. And listen, he know the camera system. He knows everything. Just hit the fucking cell phone. Let us listen. And you come here, we thought that you was going to be honest about it. One thing about me, man, we got a saying, if you mess up, you have to fess up. That's why you riding in the front seat of the car, you walking down, no handcuffs, you know, we didn't even kick your door in, knocked on the door, you came out, and the first thing that we did, hey, man, you needed some shirt and stuff, gave you all of that. Told you right to bring, we treat you with the utmost respect.
Among the various techniques employed, insinuating that Brijmohan owes them something proves to be one of the least effective approaches.
With the utmost respect. We didn't have to do it, but we treat you with the utmost respect. You know why? Because borderline, in a mirror, you almost like one of us. Brought you up here. I got to use the bathroom. It's right there. You came in, took the handcuffs off. You literally had, you've not been treated like a prisoner, not whatsoever. Then you get slick in your mind, not the good person, because remember, there's two of you out inside. You got a good person, and then you got the con artist. The good person is cool, but then you get up here and you sit here and you came up with a story about being a prank, which it sounded good, but you haven't even put together a puzzle. You can put together a puzzle, and everything goes into the place. So you get that one piece that don't fit, and you put it in there, and you can bang and do all that. That shit is not going in there. The story you told does not fit this puzzle. And my sergeant says, hey, let him go down. No, Sarge, come on, man. I know better than that. Because what I researched about you is not the con artist. We don't deal with the con artist. Because he's the con artist. The good person. You're not a bad, you're a good dude. That con artist. And in your heart right now, or in your mind, you're saying, damn, this dude telling me the truth. Now, you can ride with us, or you can collide with us. If you want to collide with us, we'll see you at the courthouse. But audio go on these. Audio. That's what go on CDs. Audio. What go on DVDs is video. Audio go on CDs. Video go on DVDs.
Right. That's usually how it works.
And people believe what they see and what they hear. Now, what you want us to believe?
Guys, I don't want to waste any more of you guys' time here. I do respect you both. Listen, I do. All right. All right, seriously speaking, I do support law enforcement. All right, I do.
You told us that.
All right. But, you know, I played a prank and it got out of hand. And I know that there might be some stuff on there, or there might not be some stuff on there. I don't know, man.
No. I
respect you as a man and as a cop.
I respect you.
And you too, as well. I don't want you guys to think that this is any kind of, you know, I'm not a criminal. You know what I mean? I'm not.
Get to the butt part.
You know what I mean? I'm not a criminal. You know what I mean? I'm not out here like most people that are like, hey, fuck the police.
No, you're not.
I support you guys. If I see you guys in the street, I usually stop. Hey, you guys, you all right? You know what I mean? Everything good? Traffic stop, stuff like that.
I told you that. You're not telling us something we don't know. I told you that.
I know. But
get to the butt part.
But lawyer.
I figured that.
Yeah, I know you did.
And you know what that just telling me? I beat you. And the sad thing about it is, it didn't have to get to that point. That's why I kept saying the butt part. I knew I've been did things, but you know what, man?
No, listen.
Good luck to you.
I respect you, man.
Good luck to you, man. But you know I beat you, right?
Okay.
There you go. I beat you, man. Good luck to you, buddy.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. And one for me, right?
Another one. Another one for the
I
books.
want you to tell me, and I beat you.
You did.
All right.
Another one for the books.
There you go. Thanks, sir.
Take it easy, man.
All right. Sit tight.
All right, brother.
After a mistrial and a subsequent second trial, Sean Jeffrey Brijmohan was ultimately found not guilty on all charges and was acquitted. Remember, it's your curiosity that fuels this channel. Keep exploring, stay inspired, and join us for more amazing content next time.